What is up, guys? This is going to be an action-packed episode of the Mixed Martial Arts podcast. We have boxing stuff with Terrence Crawford. We have won championships and our guy, Marcelo Garcia, in the main event against Lachlan Giles. We're going to cover that. We had UFC 323 and the return of Peter Yan, looking like vintage Peter Yan. I was worried about that. But right now, we have the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt Tanner Francisco Dunphy, and we have the MMA superfan / Jiu-Jitsu white belt George Novo. What's up, boys?
What is up? By the way, unfortunately, they did not make Marcelo the main event, but he was main card.
Oh, it was not?
No. He was not the main
That's
event.
hardcore,
He was main
dude.
card. Yeah. This was a wild weekend for combat sports.
Rip Sam Alvey.
Bunch of upsets and a bunch of finishes. It was great as a fan. Also heartbreaking as a fan of some of the fighters, you know. But let's just jump into the Terrence Crawford first.
That's probably best.
I think we should just run through that really quick, and then we'll get into 323 and then one Karate Combat.
And we have an event next weekend that will be our last event for 6 weeks, guys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No more UFC for 6 weeks is going to be crazy after next weekend. I'm going to lose my mind. Anyways, Terrence Crawford did not pay his sanctioning fees and fighting fees for the WBC, which was $300,000.
That's cold.
That they were trying to get from him for this one fight. And so they stripped him of the belt, and he went on a rant saying, fuck them, fuck that belt. I don't need any of that shit. And you know what? I'm with him on it, honestly. He doesn't need any of it. That is an insane amount to charge for anything. I mean, I understand.
Yeah.
He won $50 million on this fight. So that's less than 1% of his check, but still, that's an insane amount, right? What do you think on it?
Well, you know what it is. We didn't hear anything about this when we were talking about the rematch. Like when Canelo was like, "Hey, can I get a rematch?" You know what I'm saying? And then what does Bud say? Exactly what he should say. He said, "Hey, it's $100 million or no rematch." You made what? What did Canelo make? $300 million off of that?
Yeah.
So Bud says, "Give me $100 million or you don't get a rematch," and then all of a sudden he has unpaid WBC sanction fees. That is some vintage boxing shit, Bud. It's so corrupt. We see it all the time. Look at Frank Martin. That dude goes out, puts on an absolute show, gets awarded a draw. Look at Lamont Roach. His last 2 fights were Tank Davis and now Pitbull. I would think, they got a draw. Pitbull, I thought, fought him better than Tank Davis, but I thought Lamont Roach beat Tank Davis, bro. No, I'm just saying that's how corrupt boxing is.
My heart's broken from a draw.
Oh, yeah?
How they going to keep doing my boy dirty? All right.
Which one?
Jan Blachowicz.
Yes, dude. For sure. But yeah, no. WBC's so corrupt, man. Like I was saying, the Lamont Roach situation was just to bring up how corrupt, because Lamont beats Tank Davis, and then that's terrible for him because he doesn't have a huge fan base like Tank Davis, so they give him a draw when he clearly beat him up. And this Isaac Pitbull, Isaac fought him better than Tank did, but they gave him a draw, right? It's just hard to see. And this is just the latest scumbag move by the WBC, just to tarnish Terrence Crawford because he told him he needed $100 million to fight a guy he already beat. It's crazy, dude. He is the best right now, and for them to do something like that is just, when you have Alexander Usyk saying you're the best boxer in the world. Yeah, he took him apart. It's just disrespectful, man. He's the guy. It's disrespectful.
Yeah. George, do you have a take on this?
No, my only take is that, remember both of you guys said that, he wasn't going to get him, and I said, yeah, he was going to get him.
For the record, I picked Terrence Crawford.
I remember me and Tanner getting into it. I thought you were on Tan Man's side in that one. Not getting
No.
into it, but I was like,
Tanner is Saul till he dies, bro. Tanner is the only person I've ever heard of him arguing for against Canelo is Triple G.
Yeah. Triple G was just on another level. All right, let's move on to a card that broke my heart and had me excited all the way through. UFC 323 happened Saturday, December 6th, 2025. It was Peter Yan versus Merab Dvalishvili 2 and Pantoja versus Van Domain. But before all that, we started off with Myron Santos knocking out Mohamed Naimov in round 3 with a little jab cross combo. It should be noted this fight was supposed to be at 145. Myron Santos missed weight and didn't even try to make the 145. Weighed in at 148. So 147 and a half.
Yeah.
What do you think on that one?
Myron Santos, man, when he came off the Ultimate Fighter, I thought he had extreme potential. I mean, he starched Con Offley in the finale. He was just beating up dudes all the way. He comes out of the Ultimate Fighter. He switches camps. He's with the Extreme Couture. Now he's with the Fighting Nerds. When a guy switches camps a lot of the times they're hard to work with, right? Those guys are problematic. And now he's with the Fighting Nerds. You would think he'd be on weight or whatever. His fighting skills, I'm not questioning. He's got great fighting skills. The kid is good. But I'm not going to just start raising your banner and start promoting you if you're not making weight. Like, you got to fit inside the rules just like everybody else, man. If you can't make 145, then you should talk about 55. As for the fight, great fight.
I feel like we're going to repeat that exact sentiment later on. George, what do you think on that one?
I mean, what can you say other than that jab cross combo was nasty?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next bout at 185. Mansour Abdul Malik getting it done with a standing Marcelo team on Antonio Tricoli in round 1. What do you think on that one, Will?
I mean, there's not much to break down. Mansour is a freaking animal, dude. And you got to protect your neck, bud. We did the Gilly breakdown. I did a Gilly breakdown like 2-3 weeks ago. And Mansour Abdul Malik, that boy, he went palm to chest. Boom, boom. Just like you see in the textbook. And that boy is so strong. It looked like he was going to pop Tricoli's head off.
Yes, I saw the high elbow on it, and I was like, oh, no, my heart. George?
Yeah, man. He got caught napping on his feet. What was that, 1 minute and 9 seconds? That's faster than you can make popcorn during the microwave.
It's true. All right, let's move on to another quick finish at 205. Iwo took out Ebo in round 1, 1 minute 29. Big right hook, follow-up punches on the ground. Not super necessary. Moving up to 7-0. What do you got, Will?
This was the most fun thing I've seen for the 1 minute and 29 seconds that it lasted. This looked like two guys that were like, fuck it, I'm just going for it. Like, right as soon as the fight started, neither one of those dudes had one single thought of caution or defense. It was kill or be killed from both dudes. Sometimes you see a situation like, Diego Sanchez and Gilbert Melendez, and it lasts the whole time. This is the difference in those lighter weights. If you get them up to 205 pounds, they can only trade so long before one goes to sleep. And Iwo, he's like, I don't remember the fight. I just remember being hurt, and then I woke up and he was hurt. And it's like, that's some gladiator shit, man. So
that's perfect.
I love it when anything or anyone associated with the name Aslan gets decapitated in a combat situation. So good on you, Iwo.
That's a different
Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
Yeah, but you know.
Tracking. I like it. George?
Yep.
That was great. That was like two guys fighting over a bag of Coke after they've been drinking all weekend. It was amazing. And the best part about it was that dude got drilled, and it was like you didn't know who was going to go down. Like I thought Aslan had that fight at first, and then it was, oh no, he's coming back. He's coming back. It was just like, it was great. Those are the kind of things that I love. Now, granted, not every fight's going to be like that. Not everyone fights like they only, they're going to do this for 4 or 5 years. That guy's fighting like he was trying to make an impression today on a Contender Series.
He wanted that 50 G's, baby.
I think both of them did.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Ewo got that 50 G's. He got a knockout of the night bonus, by the way.
I bet today when his memory started cleaning up and he could have short-term memory, and they said, dude, you got the bonus last night. I bet it's going to be such a great feeling. It'll be like the first time he heard it.
Yeah, right?
I did?
Moving on to 155, Jalen Turner making a fool out of me, knocking out Edson Barbosa. Wow. Jalen looked great. Whatever he's been doing, smart move. Knocked him out in round 1. Tell us about it.
I mean, this is kind of how I saw it going. Edson didn't look good against Bryce Mitchell on the feet. And then you're putting him in there with Jalen Turner. Look, man, I know he's had struggles. I know that he has had tough losses. Ignacio Bahamondes. Well, I'm here to tell you, Ignacio is going to be in that top 5 and around that title for a very long time. If not, get his hands on it one day. He's one of the most dynamic strikers in the game, and he's triangling you as soon as you hit the mat. He set it up with the arm bar. Jalen, he just took that, sometimes you lose to somebody who's just on that night, and that's what he got with Ignacio, and then he retired. And I'm so glad that he found himself again, because this is the Jalen Turner that was the boogeyman at 55 for a little bit, right? And then he ran into some tough losses. If he could have, if Dan Hooker was a regular human, he would have knocked him out with a head kick. And who knows where his career would have went after he knocked him out. He fell off a little bit after that fight. It took a hit to his confidence. But Edson Barbosa came out to get 50 G's too, baby. He came out there swinging. He met him right in the middle. He was doing vintage Barbosa stuff, ripping the body, going hard. But Jalen Turner, sometimes that length and the way that the other guy keeps the stance open and pounds that strike zone, right? That's exactly what he was doing. Jalen Turner, he's going to, if he's back for real, look out, 155.
George?
Man, well, we were both talking about this fight, going into it. I said kind of that I didn't like what I saw from Barbosa coming in. I think that there's some people that hang in there too long. Doesn't mean that it's over for this guy. Not necessarily fighting per se, but I think it's probably over in the UFC for him. And I don't want to see him tarnish his legacy anymore, because even though this may be the tail end, he's had a storied career, and you can't take away some of the stuff that he's done. Ask Terry Edom. He's going to be a footnote on that guy's roster forever. But
Footnote
man,
indeed.
Yes. Whenever Turner swarmed him, man, he was on him like ants in a picnic cake. I think Barbosa looked stunned, like he bit into a jalapeno expected chocolate. And man, Turner's length paid off big time, man.
This was that you kind of echoed something I forgot to even touch on with this one. Is I think it's time for us to hang up the gloves. I don't want to see him continue. He's already got an eye that hangs halfway lower than the other, like his eyelid.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good,
Go to your room.
No. He's been in so many massive wars. He's got some massive knockout highlight finishes. It's time,
Go.
George, I'll go to my room when
I would second that.
All right.
Sorry, I thought I was muted. Chaos is being a butthole.
All right.
That's all right.
Let's move on to the next bout. scheduled at 185, but Bruno Ferreira missing weight, weighing in at 189. He gets the unanimous decision over Marvin Vettori. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not happy with it. I know I'm not happy with the result. I don't know how I feel about the decision going Ferreira's way. First off, you missed weight, and then it was a competitive fight. Vettori outlanded him in the first and third. Bruno got like a half-ass takedown in the first. I don't know. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, I think the judges had a really shitty night, to be honest. I think they dropped the ball in this fight. I think they dropped the ball, dare I say, on the Macy Barber fight, and they dropped the ball on the Jan Blachowicz fight. And the only reason, maybe not Macy, they got that one right. That could have been a split, I feel. Carini did way better than I thought she was going to do.
She did better than I thought she was going to do, but I don't think she did even close to enough.
Well, Bruno Ferreira, though, first of all, I love the guy, but I got to stick to my guns with the weight stuff. You showed up at 189, bud. That's 4 pounds. Well, 3 pounds from the limit, right? What are we doing? How are we getting full camps in and missing weight by 3 pounds? You didn't even get the 1 pound allowance. Like, they give you a pound. 185 is for championship, but you can be 186 if it's for anything but a championship. How do you train for 8 weeks and not hit that? That's your profession. They don't pay you to fight. They pay you to make the weight. If you ask any professional fighter that loves what they do, they don't accept that check to perform. That's what they love to do. You get compensated for going through the camp and making the weight. That's the contracted weight. I think Bruno Ferreira, I think he lost. And I was rooting for him. I think in the first round, he had Marvin Vettori a little worried because he couldn't time him up, and he was throwing everything and every shot, and he was blitzing very well. But I thought, and I picked Bruno Ferreira. I thought Marvin had rounds 2 and 3.
George, what do you think?
Man, I would give it to Bruno. I think that they got it right on this one, but a split. My reasoning being that Vettori was trying to counter. Had he just opened it up and went full whoop ass, he probably could have got Vettori out of there. Excuse me, could have got Bruno out of there. But it just seemed like he was being too technical, trying to land combos, and Bruno was trying to kill him. And you guys commented on it too, that it is damn near impossible to get him out of there. That I don't know if it's that guy's traps being fused into his neck, if it's a built-in shock absorber, but my God, he was getting hit. I mean, hit. I would have been asleep after like 1 or 2 of those punches, guaranteed. And he just keeps walking forward. So if you're going to go with the weight thing, then I could see them edging the decision the other way, being like, you know what, we're going to penalize him for that on top of having to sacrifice part of the fight first. But I think maybe this is kind of, I would hate to say, if business is influencing decisions, are the judges privy to what the roster looks like? Are they privy to, we can get more fights out of Bruno than we can Martin? I don't know. Maybe that's a question for another podcast.
I don't know. All I know is I felt
O'Malley
that one was
John.
Okay. Yeah.
Just evidence. I'm not swear that way. Not just evidence to the table.
Fair. Let's move on to 155. Firas Zahim knocking out Nazim Sadikov with some elbows and a few follow-up punches with 1 second left in round 2. What do you think on that one?
I mean, I answer your question with the question. Do you think that the stoppage was, do you think it was fair? Or do you think it was an illegal elbow?
I didn't even.
Do you think he hit him in the back of the head, or do you think it was clean? Because, I mean, I could see it. Well, they're fighting in there, right? Like, I didn't see Firas Zahim being like, I didn't think he was cheating. I didn't think he was aiming for the back of the head. I think shit happens, but, I think he took that elbow that started off the end of it to the back of the head. But they're aiming for the temple. That's the game we're
Let me
playing.
ask you
I
this:
think
was that to the back of the head as much as Jalen Turner's elbow on Edson was to the back of the head that split him?
I think he. Okay, no, that's fair. Same
Because
kind of
that's
situation,
what
except for
started
that's fair.
Edson going downhill. I thought it was a headbutt. The commentators thought it was a headbutt, but it was an elbow, and it was pretty far back there.
Well, that's a pretty fair point, though, because in that aspect, they were both just throwing, right? It's not like there was ill will. I mean, obviously, there's bad intentions when you're in there striking to take a man out, but there's not ill will, right? I thought Ferocium was fighting his ass off. I thought everything up to that was one-way traffic, so it's not like he did something dirty to win, to win in a fight that he was losing. I think
Yeah.
Ferocium is a fucking problem, and I think we could potentially get him and a guy I mentioned a second ago, Ignacio Baemundes.
La Jaula.
La Jaula, baby.
Okay, I'm down for that. George?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be trying to do that leg takedown to Bahamondes. I don't think he wants to go down there.
No, you gotta get trying.
Man, that was slick. Because like I talked about with you discussing this the other night or whatever day it was, he didn't do anything like that offensively, striking wise, when he had him down in the first round. It was all grappling. It was all trying to set up submissions, all trying to gain position. And then out of nowhere, he's just like, oh, we got like 10 seconds left. Me and Tanner talk about it all the time. When you got somebody on the fence on the clean break, throw that elbow. Well, he did it when he was in his guard trying to get him. And I mean, he got him. He flatlined him. I did not think that the ref was going to stop it. I thought he was going to get saved by the bell. Thought there was going to be some, little Lopez action in there, but it didn't happen. I don't know. I don't think he nailed him in the back of the head. I think he hit him right in the sweet spot. I think he hit him in the temple, right by the ear, and that's an automatic reset button, just like hitting somebody in the chin and hitting them in the lifter.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Since
pterodactyl.
You felt like this possibly could have went any other way. Let's move on. Women's 125, Macy Barber. Oh my gosh. Getting the unanimous decision over Karine Silva. I think it was a clear cut. I think Macy ran into some adversity for sure. But and then she was also illegally upkicked twice.
Yeah, that's fair.
But it still was able to control Karine and pretty much make it her fight. Tell me what you saw.
I just saw, like, basically it's the visuals, right? Because when Macy is going at it and it's one-way traffic, people don't normally have moments against her, right? It's normally one-way traffic when she's on. And for Karine to have those moments where she made her look human, I guess kind of, I don't know, played at my bias, right? Because when you are a big fan of someone and you see them have moments of adversity, it's extra enlightening to you, right? It opens your eyes a little bit more. And I will give her complete credit, man. She took that illegal up kick, that first one, took her time, and then she wasn't looking for a way out. Macy Barber's always going to be the meanest girl in the cage. That's pretty safe to say, no matter who she's fighting. So yeah, I'm gonna give her flowers. But Karine Silva got a lot done. It's going to be a positive experience for her. I know that's crazy to say in a loss, but I think Macy Barber could make it all the way to the top, and that's just going to motivate Karine Silva. We're going to see her again. She's going to do something awesome in her next fight, I believe.
Yeah, I agree. George?
I saw a mean streak in Karine Silva in this fight through the adversity. And I feel like if she could control that and not let emotion take over and transfer that into striking or grappling, that the next person she fights Lord have mercy on him.
Yep.
I think somebody's arms getting snapped, somebody's jaws getting dislocated. It's going to be brutal. I'm not taking anything away from Macy either. She fought through it. However, the post fight was exceptionally emotional for her. I don't know if we're ever going to know everything that went into that, but to me, it sounds like she was definitely fighting some demons along with some other stuff going into that. Maybe she got injured during that fight, maybe during camp, but something else was going on. You don't normally act like that after a win. So I just hope we keep seeing, progression and, better for her going forward too.
I'll tell you exactly what it was. It was the struggling on the weight cuts. The last time she tried to make a weight cut, she had a seizure, ended up in the hospital. She's just happy to be back doing what she loves. That's 100% what it is.
Knee.
Yeah, she's had surgery on that knee, hasn't she?
Twice. She
Yeah.
blew it out. She blew it out in a fight, and then it was one of those on the way back, came back training too soon situations, and it got blown out again. So
yeah,
she's had it rough, dude. And I mean, Tanner knows when she was first coming into the UFC, that was my girl. I was like, Macy Barber, she's going to be the next thing. So she's been around a minute, and she is skilled.
Yep. All right, let's move on to 155. Manuel Torres, yes, getting the
What'd we say?
knockout
Bet
over
the
Grant
fucking
Dawson.
house. We said, oh,
yikes!
I didn't though. I was like, I'm not going to do that.
50K to Manuel Torres.
Jeez,
he earned that 50K. He earned every bit of that 50K.
Damn you, Brandon.
You guys want to see how to? You guys want to see how to stay the fuck away from a wrestler? Watch this tape. Manuel Torres down blocked every shot. He changed levels with Grant Dawson. He was heavy on the boxing. He was throwing kicks only to that liver, trying to get Grant Dawson to stay upright. Grant Dawson must have felt that power early because he looked so timid. He looked like a first-day kickboxer when the fight first started. Like, he threw a nasty naked head kick that was ugly. He threw a looping overhand right that was nowhere near Manuel Torres. And, dude, Torres is on from the moment that fight starts, because when you catch a guy 2.5 minutes in, and how many shots did Grant take? He took like 6 or 7 shots.
Enough.
To start that. Yeah, to start that fight, just to be like, oh, God. But, man, when he timed him up, that kid has massive power. That was just awesome to watch. That's what, George and I talk about for every striker that watches MMA and they watch their Jack Della Maddalenas get beat up by the Islam Makhachevs of the world. This one for the good guys. Manuel Torres put on one for the good guys.
Oh, yes, he did.
Man, Torres went loco with that uppercut, man. The ground punches. He totally upset Dawson's wrestling plans. Dawson did counter early, but got clipped real hard. Torres' chaos was the perfect recipe. Dawson's got to mix in more of the stand-up or risk more loco losses.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to did we
I think we skipped the one that I was talking about. That's what I thought we were going to. I said that fight. Dang, that fight.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. We skipped over 155, the 2 minutes and 30 seconds of war between Chris Duncan and Terrence McKinney. Well, I mean, we knew that one was going to be.
There wasn't 5 minutes in those two fights.
No.
Grant Dawson and Manuel Torres was 225, and McKinney Duncan was 230. So the gods of war blessed us with 2 back-to-back bangers.
Honestly, they blessed this whole card.
Yeah, it was a great card.
Chris Duncan and Terrence went at it. Terrence was getting the better of him to start, and then Chris caught him, dropped him, jumped on that neck, sunk in the anaconda choke, and it was over. He had Terrence tapping. Will?
Chris Duncan's a fucking tank, bud. Like you said, Terrence is the best boxer in the UFC for the first 2 minutes of any fight. For the first 2 minutes of any fight, he's the best boxer the world's ever seen inside that octagon. It hits that 2 minutes and 30-second mark, and then he's like chin straight in the air and he's winded. Chris Duncan found his chin with a Chris Weidman, Pedro Munoz-esque elbow that dropped Terrence McKinney and then he ended up strangling him. I don't know, man. Maybe we get Chris Duncan,
I don't know.
Lahaula. I'm itching for a fight for
I'm here for
Bahamundez. I need to see that man in there again. I want to see him against somebody that's going to put him in title contention. It's got to be Chris Duncan because he's already knocked out Manuel Torres. So let's go Chris Duncan, Lahaula. Give Lahaula a fight.
I am here for it. George?
Wow. McKinney rushed in wild, man, and got squeezed out like toothpaste from a tube. Duncan's post-fight, man, was talking about, talking about adversity, all the stuff that he went through. If you don't know, watch a video on that, get caught up, because you're probably going to need the, closed captioning to understand what he's saying, that notwithstanding. Again, I still think we should have had Paul Craig in there to call that fight. That would have been amazing.
All right, let's jump forward 2 bouts to the number 10 bouts, and we skipped around there a little bit and talk about something that really pissed me off. They robbing my boy again. Jan just can't catch a break. It was a draw at 205 between Jan Blachowicz and Bogdan Guskov. Do you guys think that was a 10-8 round in round 2? Because I don't. I think if you give that a 10-8 round, you could also possibly give round 3 a 10-8 for Jan. What the fuck was that?
I thought, that was crazy to me. I thought Guskov won the first round.
Really? I thought Jan.
Well, he dropped him and he controlled him, right? A little bit. Now, but in my eyes, when you drop a guy, he dropped him. He hit him with the straight left and dropped him. And then
that was in
Jan
round 2, I thought.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jan Blachowicz
round 1, Jan
leg
kicked the shit out of him. And
right,
then,
okay. There we go.
Bogdan got like a half, like he tried to spear tackle him and put Jan on his ass for like half a second at the end of the round for like the last 10 seconds. And then Jan popped up. But round 1 was all Jan. Round 2, Bogdan dropped him. And then Jan went single leg X and could have had a heel hook, but fucking put the heel into his armpit or his elbow ditch and wasn't going for it, wasn't controlling the knee line, wasn't controlling the hip, wasn't doing anything right with it, but still had the opportunity and then went for it late. Went for it after it had kind of fallen even worse to position. And then round 3, Jan was like, I need to win this fight, and turned it all the way on.
I thought it was all Jan round 3. Yeah, I thought it was all Jan round 3. There wasn't any confusion in that one, but that guy showed what being a veteran is. And for fucking how old that dude is he the toughest motherfucker that ever lived? Is he the toughest human being on earth?
Polish power, bud.
Fuck the power, Polish chin.
Polish chin and Polish
shins. What the fuck? Shin to shin. And Guskov's like, I don't like it.
George, tell us about it.
Man, maybe Bogdan Guskov would have got this one if he wouldn't have been checking out Macy after the weigh-ins. You got caught red-handed. You got caught red-handed.
Yeah, but
I don't think he cared.
That poor guy. No.
That's almost as good as Joe Rogan checking out your girl. That one's hilarious too.
Oh,
it was Misha Tate.
It was Misha Tate. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could see it. He's like, but man,
he couldn't help it.
I feel like at this point, Jan is 40. It is 40s, bro. Like, give this man a shot. Let him go out banging. You know, how many other guys are up there in gears that aren't doing this, aren't competitive, are getting slept because their chin's gone? Clearly, Jan's is still there and intact. So, let him go. Give him a shot. Make another BMF belt for that weight class. Do something.
He
I
fucking
mean,
is, bro.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to holy shit. This kid is good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
By the way, Jan and Guskov was the start of our main card. Then we had at 135, Peyton Talbot getting the unanimous decision, absolutely dominating Henry Cejudo. Took him down twice, and made it very clear to Henry he needs to retire. This is it. What do you think, Will?
Out of all these veterans that we've seen this kind of happen to, our favorite guys that are getting phased out, I think Henry fought the best out of them.
Yeah, he did.
Henry wasn't. I mean, Peyton Talbot put it on him, but Henry wasn't fucking shying away from him, and he was cracking Talbot. He was still in there, and he was not pulling his punches. He was winging that right hand in there. His calf kicks, he had Peyton hurt with the calf kick early. But yeah, Peyton Talbot's a tank, man. He's listed at 5'10", but that kid looked like easy 6 foot tall. He looked massive in there. I mean, Dominic Cruz made Cejudo look small, but Peyton Talbot, I don't know, he made him look extra small. It was crazy. And that little feint hook to the knee at the end, I don't know how Henry stayed up for that because it was flush all the way to the face. What can you say about Henry?
Mexican buckethead.
Really,
that's how.
Yeah, he's tiny Kelvin Gastelum. He's like the fun size Kelvin. They're even built the same. But dude, just a legend of the sport. Fucking a young 20-year-old Olympic gold medalist comes into the UFC, goes all the way to the belt just to get beat by Mighty Mouse, and then come back and beat Mighty Mouse, who, in my opinion and many other people's opinions, is the GOAT in martial arts overall, with everything he achieved and accomplished in his career. The most technically advanced, most technically skilled fighter in all areas overall, other than a guy probably like GSP, right? But Demetrius Johnson, he beat Demetrius Johnson. He beat Dominic Cruz. He's a flyweight, bantamweight champion of the world. So only 6 losses in his MMA career. So it's not like one of these situations where, oh my God, it was ass at the end of his career. Like, he had some rough ones. Yeah. But all in all, one of the GOATs, man. He's up there. He's a legend. Thank you, Henry Cejudo, for all you gave to MMA.
He beat the best of the best. I mean,
the best of the fucking
he
best.
beat Sergio Pettis, who's now currently a champion in another organization. He beat TJ Dillashaw. The run he had,
TPO Dillashaw.
Yeah, the run he had to get to the title, and then he lost to Johnson to DJ initially, and then the run he had to get back to the title and with the title was just amazing. Those people he beat: Wilson Hayes, Sergio Pettis, Mighty Mouse, TJ Dillashaw, Marlon Moraes, and then Dominic Cruz. In
a lot of those fights, he was hurt early.
Yeah.
Marlon Moraes hurt him. He come back, folded him. Dominic Cruz had him in a bad way. It folded him. Just crazy. Just crazy.
George, how much did you like seeing a crotch sniffer get beat up?
Man. Peyton Talbot, new kid on the block, proving old dogs like Cejudo can learn new tricks, like losing. Bro, that dude hits hard. That guy hits hella hard. Every time he cracked him to the body, it was audible, much like another fight later on in this card.
Here's a stat for you. 156 out of 240 total strikes Peyton Talbot landed on Henry Cejudo.
Damn.
Wow. If that kid continues on that trajectory and can keep it where he doesn't take, as much damage, because there's some guys you're not going to get an exchange like that. He had the size, he had the youth and the speed on Cejudo, but there's some other people in that division that you do not want to do that with. So if he could be more defensively sound along with that KO power and get more of the wrestling too to be more well-rounded, I don't know. Maybe that man's fighting for a belt sooner than later.
Yeah. I think it should be sooner. I think, that was kind of his test to see if he should fight for a belt. Seems as though we've lost George for now. Let's move on to the next bout at 125. Tetsuro Taira getting the TKO victory over Brandon Moreno in round 2. I think that was a bullshit stoppage. I don't know about you guys. He spiraled, or not spiraled. He extended his hooks while on the back. Of course, he's going to flatten out Moreno when you do that. Yeah, he was throwing some big shots, but they weren't doing any real damage to Moreno, it seemed. And Moreno was continuing to build back up to his base and try to defend this position. Moreno's a tough former champ. You got to let the man try, and he wasn't even rocked at any point. So I just thought that was just a shit stoppage. I mean, he immediately protested himself too. What do you think, Will?
Yeah, it's a mess, right? Mark Smith, he has his moments where I believe, like, man, he's one of the best in the game, if not the best, right? In some situations, he's handled it incredibly well. This was like one of those low points, man. Every once in a while, he has a moment where it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Check his DraftKings account, Tatsuro Taira, he definitely had back mount. He definitely had a dominant position, but like you said, you got to give the man a chance to work out. Sometimes in that position, you go belly down to pick that body lock, right? To get a different position to fight the body lock. And it looks bad in MMA because you're getting hit. But what do? Like, that's the defense. You weather the storm or you get put out, right? Brandon Moreno wasn't out and he was trying to get out of the body lock. So it's just tough. It's really fucking tough, especially as jiu-jitsu athletes. We would be so mad. And I can understand why Moreno's upset.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. George, what's your take on this fight? Oh, you're muted.
I do know that you guys swung me with how certain you were on Moreno winning, so I paired my underdog parlay with Brandon Moreno, Barab Babashvili losing to Peter Yan, and Joshua Van winning. So the assassin baby cost me all kinds of money.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It cost me too.
I don't know if it's. Are they having flashbacks to what happened earlier this year? Was he the same ref that let that guy get relentlessly teed off on in that fight? Is this?
No.
I don't know. It's hard to put yourself in that perspective, a referee, and know what's going on in there. You know what I mean? You're going to see that from a completely different point of view. You don't know what's going on in that guy. It's so hard to stay present. I know I have ADHD. I'll be at work trying to pay attention to stuff I should be paying attention to, and my mind will just be like, damn, I wonder what I went for dinner last night. George, get me that fitting. Oh, yeah, what's up, bro? So maybe it was a situation like that. Maybe he's thinking about, I don't know. We'll see, though. We'll see if there's anything.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our co-main event for the flyweight belt. Joshua Van gets the victory in round 1 over Alexander Pantoja from a broken, possibly dislocated arm.
No, he dislocated the shoulder. They confirmed that.
It was at the elbow, though.
I know, and everyone thought it was the elbow. Dana White said he thought it was the elbow, but it was confirmed right after in the back, and they put his shoulder back in place, and it doesn't look like he's going to have surgery.
That's incredible news.
That is incredible news.
Hey, guys, when you're getting taken down, don't reach for the fucking ground. Jesus Christ. Why do we keep seeing
don't
it
post.
happen? People do it and they're successful with it and they think, oh, I'm just going to keep doing this. Stop fucking doing it. That's what can happen. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So
Yeah,
Pantoja threw a head
especially if
kick.
you're Pantoja.
Yeah, you're
And what was
are you
Van
doing?
gonna do? Jump on him when he hit the ground? Fuck no.
Yeah. Pantoja threw a head kick. Van caught it and then rushed into him, pushed him over, and Pantoja reached for the ground as he was falling down like an idiot and then broke his arm or dislocated his shoulder, I guess. So Joshua Van gets the belt. What do you guys think? What do you think, Will?
Well, I saw some people saying, how can they get the belt like that? And like Surreal Gone didn't win. Surreal Gone committed a foul that stopped the fight. That's why he didn't get the belt. Joshua Van just pushed Pantoja over. The error was exactly what Tanner said. It was on Pantoja. When you go to a jiu-jitsu school or, Muay Thai school, the first thing they teach you to do is fall down. This is how you fall down properly for that reason. You don't stick your hands out and try to grab the mat. You break fall. You slap your hand and forearm on the mat as you come down, or you roll through. In that situation, I mean, we saw Chael Sonnen do it against Anderson Silva when Anderson caught a kick. He turned and rolled through. What my question for Pantoja is, what was Van going to do had you just rolled to your back and like presented open guard? Because I know what any other flyweight in the world would do if Pantoja's completely conscious, laying down there trying to play jiu-jitsu. They're not fucking doing that. You're not doing that. Joshua Van, you better not do that. So, it's just situational awareness, just a brain fart, if you will, as Pantoja was falling, and he just, a silly little moment, posted on the mat. And that fight was about to be a banger. Pantoja comes out hair on fire most times anyway, but the way that they met in the middle and Josh Van was going to stand there and trade with him, that was about to be a fucking sensational fight. And I know that they're talking about having a defense before Pantoja comes back, but that would be a fucking shame in my book. I think Pantoja should get the time to heal, get the immediate rematch. Josh Van fought 3 fights in 1 year. He should get a little time off, and then they should run those boys back fresh. You have Manel Kopp and Brandon Royval fight. I think you have you let that play out, and then Tatsuro Taira fight one of those guys in the meantime for the number 1 contender.
Okay. Yeah. I like that. George, what do you think on this one?
Man, how crazy is it that we've seen people block a head kick and they get their arm messed up, and the exact opposite happened. He blocked it and
Well, he didn't block it. He ate a little bit
landed.
of it and he caught it instead of blocking it. A little bit. It wasn't a powerful head kick.
No, I think that Pantoja didn't think it was going to land. I think he just flipped it up there to flip it up there. Because had he thrown that bitch, he would have cleaned Van out.
Yeah, absolutely. But Van ate that and then hooked over top of it and then ran to him. He forced him to fall down, basically. And Pantoja decided to, like Will said, instead of rolling with it or break falling, decided to post out. So, but yeah, it is crazy though that we've seen head kicks in both sides getting their arm broken now.
Man, this is kind of nice though, because who else poses a threat to Van and the ground game the way that he does, that's up there at the top? I think Brandon Royval is really licking his chops, thinking he got me last time. I'm going to get him this time if he could win that fight. Only time will tell, man. But I gotta say, this kid's rise was meteoric, and if he can keep it up, if he can do fight smart, keep training, keep growing, I think this kid's title reign might be kind of long.
I think that Tatsuro Taira is going to be a dangerous threat for him just because Brandon Moreno is a high-level black belt in jiu-jitsu. He trains with Andrew Tackett. He had Mikey Musumeci in his camp, and Musumeci was trying to get his back the whole time, so he was ready for back defense. So that's one. Tyra's going to be a good challenge, but Manel Kopp in the striking, like we give Joshua Van a lot of grace in his boxing because it's so incredible. But here's the thing: if you can get knocked out by Charles Johnson, right? Energy. And that's not taking anything away from Energy because that dude's, I'm vying for him to be up there with these dogs getting a chance at that belt. He knocked out Josh Van. I'm not shitting on him. He has big power. But if he can do it, Manel Kopp can certainly do it. I think Manel Kopp has the biggest power in that flyweight division, and Tatsuro Taira must have the best grappling. So those are your two threats right there. And obviously, when Pantoja comes back, he's going to be motivated to absolutely eat somebody's fucking face.
Yeah, I agree. And I was wanting to point out that his title run might not be long if he runs into old Energy.
Energy. Yeah. Dude, Energy showed like that range, that pop, that rhythm. He's a threat, dude. He's got a fight, I think. I think he's fighting I'll send it to you. It was a former title contender that came back. Somebody came back. I want to say it was Benavidez.
Horiguchi?
No, not Horiguchi.
That's the man that I want to see get to the belt. He's got me hyped all the way up.
Oh, yeah,
He
that's
says,
a grappling
I can beat
threat.
you, Pantoja. You're my partner. I beat you. Now he doesn't have to worry about it. All right, let's move on to our main event. The bantamweight belt switching title holders, switching champions. Peter Yan getting it done over 25 minutes via unanimous decision. Fight of the night for Merab and Peter Yan. Yan just showed up. Yan looks better when he rematches somebody, as he said himself. Man, I don't know what else to say. I mean, he looked great in this fight. What do you think, Will?
I think he looked like vintage Peter Yan, and I think this is kind of what I expected. Now, not saying, I'm jumping on the bandwagon because, this happened. Now I know everything. Merab is a big bantamweight, and this was his fourth time cutting weight in a year. Every 3 months, he's cutting weight. That gets to everyone, even somebody nicknamed the Machine. And then all the injuries are coming out. I don't know if those are excuses, but Merab's never made excuses before. He said he was injured and he was battling neurovirus all week. I don't know, but I know that Peter Yan would have probably beaten any bantamweight in the world Saturday night. And all of these bantamweight contenders, I think if Sean O'Malley gets back to him, I think that Peter Yan finishes him. I I don't know. Look out. This is the second coming of Peter Yan, and I think we're going to see him buzzsaw through everyone.
I hope so. He's got some tough competition at 35, though. So
he does. Juan Carlos Cholula was in there losing his mind for him the whole time. Every time Peter Yan scored, he was, "Let's go, Peter!"
Yes. George, what did you think on that one?
Man, Jan's revenge, man, was sweet and spicy, and man, he totally iced the Machine's title dreams, and to have that record there put a stop to everything. Whenever Merab comes back, we talked about this the last time where we were so high on him because if he was going to do the same thing he did in the fight before, it was looking unstoppable. Like who can fight that type of grinder style? You know what I mean? It's hard when you're a striker whenever you're not on your feet. You can't knock somebody out whenever you're on your back constantly or trying to get up. And that's what happened in the last fight. So I don't know. If Merab can attack his training like he always does, and add in the striking too, and go to somebody like that, that'd be scary. That would be absolutely frightening to have a Marab that would have striking on par with that, you know. But that's not something you can pick up overnight. And I think just like he is a talented grappler, I don't think everyone can reach that level. I think some of that is just given talent innately, genetically. So, I don't know. I don't know what's for the future for us, but I definitely think we got to see a Marab Yan 3.
Okay, I'm here for that. Yeah, I think you need a rubber match. You gotta figure out which way this should go. Yeah,
Um, this card was amazing, by the way. I mean,
it
uh,
was.
this was like top 10. I think this was like one of the best ones since like UFC 300. Um, I mean, the only negative thing that I could take from it was I wish we would have got to see a full fight with Van and Pantoja.
Yeah, that and
Yep.
the Moreno. Those are the only two things I just didn't like about it. But other than that, I thought it was like one of the best cards we've had all year. All right, let's hop off UFC for a second, and let's run over to Fight Night 38. Let's talk about the Marcelo match. Lachlan Giles got the victory over Marcelo Garcia via knee bar. He was hunting from his open guard to half guard to K guard the entire time until he was able to actually get a good bite 7 minutes into their 10-minute match. Got the leg to peel, and then the knee bar was his. What he did really well is he kept the ankle and foot right by his head and controlled at the knee. He was holding it tight once he got to it. And then the rest is just history. It's hard to get out of that once you're in it. And on somebody who can hold you that deep, man, apparently it's even impossible for the GOAT in there.
The pioneer of stuff like that too, like Marcelo Garcia. Not a lot of people were doing stuff from that like single leg X into those leg situations.
I would say
Marcelo's really
Lachlan
good at,
is
like,
the pioneer of the K guard, though.
the K guard, right? But to be in a situation that Marcelo was in before he entered it, like he was top, and Lachlan was like not struggling, but he was like pummeling to fight to get those butterfly hooks in, which eventually turned to K guard, which was beautiful to watch. It was like hard to believe that he made that look as effortless of a finish as he did against Marcelo Garcia. Like it was hard to believe that he could do that to him.
It was.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Lachlan Giles is absolutely the shit. Like that guy, I mean, that he was Craig Jones' original coach, right? Like,
yeah. And unfortunately, Lachlan announced after this victory that he is retiring from competition.
Yeah, you tap Marcelo Garcia, you don't ever compete again.
Yeah, no, it's I don't blame him.
Yeah, no.
I beat the GOAT. I'm out. You know,
I'm done. Mic drop. See ya.
Good job, guys. We're out. Let's move on. On this card, we had Baby Shark Diego Hayes getting a unanimous decision victory to earn the vacant bantamweight championship that Mikey left unattended. And then in the main fight, we had a switch of featherweight MMA bout or featherweight MMA title when Ankh Orgolbataru beat Fabricio de Andrade. So the new Netflix star got it done and got the belt. It was pretty awesome to see. That is it for one. Let's jump off of one and onto Karate Combat. These fuckers didn't start until 12:30, was it?
I think so. It was late as hell when Sam Alvey got smoked.
Yeah, no, it was early when Sam Alvey got smoked because it was the next day. The card itself did not start until 12:30,
Oh shit.
and there was 11 bouts on this card.
Yes.
And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 went to decision. I mean, almost half of them went to decision.
Bro,
Crazy.
10 years ago, I could have stayed up for that. I cashed out. I didn't even
Crazy.
make it 2 fights into 1. I was so tired.
Yeah, no. Oh man, it was a rough one. Hold on just a second. Okay, so on this card, I only really watched the main event and 2 other bouts. I don't know how much you guys watched. I just
on the
couldn't
karate
bring
combat.
myself to do it. Yeah.
No, I only saw the Sam Alvey one. I was working, so.
Okay. So
And honestly, the Sam Alvey, this is the only point I have to make on this whole card because it's the only thing I watched. But I feel like it needed to be said, even though Sam Alvey came out and said he thought the ref did a phenomenal job. If I'm Sam Alvey's coach, I'm beating that ref's ass in the parking
Yeah.
lot after the show. Did you see what the fuck? He drops him. Sam gets up, hits the baby deer walk, falls on his face in the corner. Somehow the ref allows him to get up again. Robles goes over there, kicks him in his freaking head to start him off. Again, Sam gets a double leg somehow by the grace of God. Robles was allowed to stand up and kick him in the head for a second time. That went way too far. That ref needs to have his license pulled.
Yeah.
I know Sam Alvey's a really nice guy and he doesn't want to see anybody get in trouble. And Sam believes in himself, as he absolutely should. He's a warrior. But if Sam's my student, afterwards, I'm like, Sam, you don't mean that, bud. That guy, that ref dropped the ball. And like I said, I'm in the parking lot with that ref, and he's atoning for that shit. Ain't nobody stopping that fight.
I'm with you on that. I feel like it was a bad stoppage all around. The only other fight I'd like to touch on is Chris Barnett back in the win column.
Didn't he fall on the guy?
They took him down, and the guy couldn't continue. I don't care how it happens. It happened. All right?
Hey, there's no shitty way to win a fight. Ask Dana White.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our preview of next week, or this weekend, I should say. We've got a fight night, Royval versus Cop, December 13th, start time 7 p.m. Eastern for the prelims. Let's jump in. We've got about at 125. We got about at 125. Teresa Belita taking on Jamie Lynn Horth. Horth is a slight underdog. She's 3-2 in this one. Teresa, on the other hand, is 1-1 in the UFC, slight favorite. I think I'm gonna go with the underdog actually in this one, which could be a bad decision. Teresa's got some hands on her.
I don't think so. I think Jamie Lynn Horth has more MMA knowledge. I think she has more tools in every area, and she has a great coach. She trains with Mike Malott. Kick him in the dick a lot, Mike Malott. She trains with him. I think she's gonna come out and kick Teresa Blade's butt all over the place.
George, what do you think?
I think Teresa is gonna smother Horth for unanimous decision.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think Teresa is I don't think she does the ground thing much.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
She do have 2 subs, clubbing subs, but yeah.
All right. Next up, we have a heavyweight bout. Undefeated fighters, 6-0 and 5-0. Alan Fry taking on Guillermo Pat. Is that it? Yeah. I'm going Alan Fry. The man is 6-0, and he's all 6 wins are by knockout, right?
Mm-hmm. The
Yeah,
Brazilian's 5-0 and he has 4 knockout wins. But USA, USA, let's
USA.
go, Fry.
Yeah. America.
Fuck
George?
yeah.
Is he related to Don Fry?
I don't know. Let's go, Fry. I'm thinking
I hope he comes out with a
Futurama.
big
Come on, Fry.
mustache.
Yeah. Let's go, Fry.
Fry by KO, man. I think he's gonna drop Homeboy like a sack of flour.
We'll see.
Ooh, sack of flour, you said. That sounds appetizing.
All right. Next up, women's bantamweight. We have Melissa Croden taking on Luana Santos. This is kind of a tough one for me. I think my brain's telling me Luana Santos. And I think I'm going to go with it. I think we're going Luana Santos.
I see Melissa Croden throwing Santos on her forehead and beating her up.
Maybe. George?
I think Santos is gonna knee her into next week, making her look like a deflated souffle.
Okay. All right. Next up at heavyweight, we have Sean Sharaf taking on Steven Asplund. I'm going Asplund all the way. Big boy hit hard. All right.
For sure.
Watching him, he was on Contender Series last.
Yeah. He has that
It didn't
touch of
take
death.
much. It did not take
Yep.
much. Concrete.
Yes, sir. Give me MMA jelly roll for the victory here. Steve Asplund by one-way traffic.
Yeah. George?
Yeah, I agree.
All right.
This one's
We're
going to be
just
tough
flying
for the
through
tan
this
man
one.
to
Yeah.
say.
I know.
This one.
Next up at
Both
170.
the name and the result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up at 170, we have Neil Magny taking on Yaroslav
A Ukrainian
Amasov.
guy.
Yes, a Ukrainian guy. Yaroslav Amasov. I'm
You're a
going.
fucking Slav, huh?
I'm going Yaroslav.
You're a Slav. Yeah, bud, same. I think it's however he wants to get it done, too. I think Neil Magny being absolute one of the greatest gatekeepers we've ever seen in the sport. I think that chin.
Damn.
I think that chin is starting to fucking go, bud.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, George.
Man, I don't think he's gonna get Magnied either. I think
Nope.
Amazon's gonna take this one.
You know, every time I go against Magny, though, he shows
Yep.
the fuck up. So, and I love Magny, so I won't be too butthurt. You know. All right. Moving on to our main card. We've got, Joanderson Brito taking on Melisik Bagdasaryan.
Oh, good.
I'm going Joanderson Brito on this one.
Every time I pick him, it's the opposite of the Magny thing. I pick him and he shits on me. Now, I was wrong to pick him against Pat Sabatini. Apparently, Pat Sabatini is way more talented than I gave him credit for. That's on me. I thought he beat William Gomez, though. That was a split decision. And against my better judgment, I'm going with Joanderson Brito again. I just don't think Melsik is going to be able to hang with him on the feet. And Joanderson Brito, for the inefficiencies he has defending a takedown, once he's on the ground, he stays pretty safe and can get back to his feet. Melsik is not going to be like Pat Sabatini, where he can get Joanderson down as much as he wants whenever he wants. So for that reason, I'm going Brito.
Okay. George?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Bagdasaryan. I think he's gonna get him out of there. I think his kicks are lethal.
Okay. I'm curious about this next one. Amanda Lemos versus Jillian Robertson at 115. I'm going Lemos.
Ooh, damn, boy, that's rough. Lemos struggles with grapplers. She lost to Tatiana Suarez, unanimous decision. She
She
got
beat
subbed
Mackenzie
by
Dern.
Virna Janjanova. Okay, well, all right, that's fair.
I mean,
All right.
you're gonna say she
But-
struggles with grapplers. She beat the best grappler in the division.
All right, so you
And
had
the
to give
current
me her
champ.
best fucking win. All right, that's fair. That's fair. That stopped me in my tracks. But she got tapped by Virna Janjanova. Honestly, I think that Jillian Robertson could beat Mackenzie Dern in a fight. I think she's better
I
than
think she could
Mackenzie.
too.
I-
yeah.
I think she's got better cardio. Her clinch game's better, and when she's on the ground, she's a wet blanket. She's not fighting from her back a lot, which Mackenzie tends to do. I don't think that Lemos is going to be able to beat her up because she's like the Lady Marab with that cardio. The takedown's always coming. I think Amanda Lemos' arms are going to be full of blood halfway through the first round. In the second round, we're going to see vintage Lemos swinging big and getting tired. And I think by the end of the second or early third round, Jillian Robertson's going to have her back and have her strangled out.
I hope so. George, what do you think?
The last time I took Lemos, it blew up in my face. So I'm gonna go with Jillian. I think she's gonna get the upset.
Okay. All right. So this next one, we've got Kennedy Nchukwu taking on Marcus Buchecha. Judging off Kennedy's last fight, Buchecha should win this. That being said, I'm going Kennedy.
Yeah.
I think
For
I think
sure.
we're going to see Buchecha take a nap.
I think so, man. I don't think, I think athleticism wise, Kennedy and Nzechukwu is so much better than Martin Budai. So look out, Buchecha. But if Buchecha gets in there and gets on top of Kennedy early, it's over. And we both know that's
Yeah,
true.
if he starts
It's
grappling
just-
him.
Yeah. But if Kennedy keeps him at jab range, I think you're 1000% right that Buchecha takes a nap.
I think Budai wrote the book on how to beat him
Yeah, just be tougher than him.
and not let him get down. Don't let
Yeah,
him get on top of
He
me.
gets tired.
George, what do you think?
Oh, I think Buchecha's black belt credentials show up in this fight. I think this is layers got nuts, literally, kind of like a cake, with potential for crazy finishes. But I think in round 2, Buchecha pulls guard and snags an arm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Next up at featherweight 145, we have Morgan Chartier taking on Milky Melquiselle Costa. I think Chartier is going to get milked. I think we're going to see Melquiselle coming away with the victory.
Call that, man. You're going to get milked, bro. Don't go.
Don't go. All right.
I think he's going to knock Melquiselle out.
I think Melquiselle has been on a streak, and he's looking.
That's 100%
phenomenal.
facts. That's 100% facts. But yep, he had the perfect dress rehearsal for Melquiselle and Nate Landwehr. So, and he knocked out Nate. I think he's going to be riding that high.
Is not as. I don't know. I feel like Nate puts himself in danger a lot more. I can't believe you're going against Shoot the Box.
I just feel like Morgan Chartier is going to get it done.
All right. George, do you feel that way too?
I feel like the Weeknd's gonna come out and sing his little song about punching people in the face, and he loves it. I think Costa's gonna get KO'd.
Okay.
I just don't like all the Milky references. Every time this dude fights, you make it weird, and I don't like it. It's off-putting. Next.
This talking about knockouts, these next
oh man, you're telling me. At 185, we have Cesar Almeida taking on Cezary Olajashik. I'm going Cesar Almeida by head clean.
Yeah, he's got a win over Alex Pereira in kickboxing. and now he trains with Alex Pereira at Teixeira's MMA in Connecticut.
Ooh.
And Cezary Olajaychuk is Michael Olajaychuk's younger sister.
Oh man.
If I ever see you, please don't beat me up for that. I'm an idiot. Michelle Olajaychuk, they have evolved since going to the Fighting Nerds, but man, I don't think this guy's going to be trying to get Cesar Almeida to the floor, which he absolutely needs to do immediately. As soon as the fight is started, Olajaychuk needs to sprint over there and try to Randy Couture, James Toney his ass to the floor if he wants to win. If you stand on the feet with Cesar Almeida long enough, you're going to bed. Cesar Almeida inside 2 rounds via murder.
Yeah, absolutely. George?
You know, whenever something bad happens to your car, it goes into a thing called limp mode. I think that's going to happen to Polish Power. I think he's going to get leg kicked into limp mode.
Oof.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Next up, our co-main event at 145. Giga Chikate taking on Kevin Vlahos. I think I'm going to basically say what Will just said for the last one. I think if Kevin Vlahos wants to win this fight, he needs to sprint at Giga. I don't think he wants this to be a drawn-out fight where Giga can find his range and figure out where to throw that power and that Giga kick. I think Kevin needs to go at him and go aggressive from the start to get a victory. But I'm saying Giga. I think Giga can do it.
Yeah, Kevin Vallejos, 16-1 in MMA, 11 career knockouts, 2 submission wins. Safe to say, he's not going over there and shooting on him. He's gonna. This might be the fight of the night. This might be the most fun fight we see all night.
Yeah.
Kevin Vallejos does not know how to be in a boring fight. Giga Chikate, if you're swinging on him, he's swinging back. Lots of times he'll eat your hardest shot and be there, and it's going to be fun either way. I think Giga, being 37 years old, Kevin Vallejos is on fire, undefeated in the UFC, 24 years old. I think he throws a brick through Giga's head early.
Oof. Okay. George, what do you think?
I think Giga's got the same thing that Barcelos has, where, you know, he wins fights that you don't think he should win because he's enigmatic. People don't kind of underestimate that. This fight's all going to come down to, can Kevin cut off the octagon and can he solve that footwork? If he lets Giga do what he did to the last couple people and constantly sidesteps, constantly move, he's going to lose this fight. But if he could close the distance, maybe pin him up against the cage, or, bait him into going into the power hand, he's got this. I think that Vallejos is going to win this, but you can't ever count Giga out.
No. And a follow-up point I want to make is this my original point is contingent on Giga showing up looking good at weigh-in. He did not look good at his last one. He missed weight fighting David Onama by 2 pounds. He weighed in at 147. So hopefully he's got that figured out, whatever that was, and we get a good fight. Regardless, I feel like we're going to get a good fight out of this main event.
There's no way we don't.
We have Brandon Royval taking on Manel Kopp. Manel Kopp, absolute bombs in his hands, 13 wins by knockout. Taking on Brandon Royval, who's kind of everywhere, man. He's more a submission guy, but he can get it done anywhere. Has split decision victory over Moreno, Tyra. Lost a unanimous decision fight of the night against Joshua Van.
Fight of the year is what you mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I think that one's going to be an absolute banger. Now, here's the thing. Will Manel Kopp's power stop Brandon Royval from grappling him?
I think so.
I don't think it will.
So the fight that I look at is the Muhammad Mokaev fight for Manel Kopp. Muhammad Mokaev is light years ahead of Brandon Royval in the wrestling, and he was only able to get Kopp down 3 times in that fight. Manel Kopp has absolutely incredible takedown defense, and it's not just the one-shot power that he has, because he absolutely has that. It's the ability to set traps on guys. When he finds your chin, it's not by chance. He's not in there swinging wild. He's got you measured. He's in there taking data from the first round, and he's all defensive footwork, sliding that head around until he has you pressured against the fence. Once you're against the fence, then you're a sitting duck. I think Royval is going to make it an awesome fight for the first 2 rounds. As long as he doesn't catch him, because it absolutely could happen. Brandon Royval is one of the baddest 125ers that, for my money, has ever done it. Just the arsenal he has, the highlight reels he has, and the way he goes about his business, he's awesome. So it's not like it's going to be one-way traffic. I just think Manel Kopp puts that nuclear warhead on his chin eventually.
Yep. There was a man that took him down and actually finished him on the ground, by the way. Know who that was? Horiguchi.
Tim Elliott? Oh.
Horiguchi got Manel Kopp.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
George?
Well, Horiguchi's not fair.
I think that, like I alluded to earlier, that the taste of defeat that Joshua Van handed him has motivated him. I think he's going to neutralize Manel Kopp's striking by getting a submission on him in round 4. I think he's going to go through the cardio, fight a smart fight, and I think that's how it's going to go. And I think we're going to see a rematch eventually of Van and Royval.
I'm here for it. All right. Well, gentlemen, that's all I have. Do you guys have anything else you would like to add?
Nothing from me. Just if you guys are in the West Lafayette area and you want to get some training in, come to Rhino's Gym. Also, I was a little lax on the Discord this fight night. I was working, but jump on our Discord when there's events going on. We'll keep you updated on who's made weight, who missed weight, who looked like crap, and who looked good. So other than that, love y'all. Thanks for tuning in.